Hey everybody, welcome to the Sweet Pea Farm NY podcast, episode number 2. It is Wednesday, January 13th, and it is like 9 degrees here in upstate New York. So I am taking this opportunity to get the podcast filmed even though Michaela's in school. We've had so much snow and storms and wind lately that I've kind of been a hermit, which is good for me. I've gotten a lot of stuff done. So this past Saturday, I went with my family to Lansing, New York for a rock day, like a Distaff day celebration that one of the spinning guilds had down there. And they had vendors and a bunch of people spinning on all kinds of wheels and demos. And it was a lot of fun. And the weather was cooperative on Saturday. The storms all hit after we got back, so that was beneficial. And someone demoed some core spinning with some cheese water locks. My dad keeps calling them Teasdale, which is like a combo Wensleydale Teeswater because he's funny. But they're Teeswater locks, and that's pretty neat. So I've been watching my dad do that, and we just had a good time. We're supposed to get like another foot of snow here tonight, so that's okay because this is where we live, and it's middle of January, so I can't really complain. So let's get into finished objects that I have for the week. Mostly just felting. I already had to ship some orders out because I finally got to the post office this morning, but I was watching, my daughter and I were watching a tutorial about sewing, and the lady on there had this funny little pincushion that was like Humpty Dumpty. And it was made out of like foam or something, but I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try and make him out of wool because it was just so cute. So I kind of greased the screen and made a little Humpty Dumpty pincushion, so you can like stick pins in poor old Humpty's head and use them as a pincushion. I thought that was kind of funny. And let's see, I did a pig, which is my number one ordered bought item in the Etsy shop, craft shows, you name it. They're simple. It's a basic design. I actually have kits for these guys in the Etsy shop because it's a great beginner project. It's, one basic egg shape and then just the legs, nose, ears, and tail. And, it's very fun to do and they're adorable. So I made one of these guys just because I keep them in stock. They're pretty popular. Like I said, you can buy these on the Etsy shop. I'll put a link down below. Or you can get a kit that comes with everything you need, including the needle and the sponge, and enough wool to at least make 2 this size. If you want to make them a little smaller, you can make more. Or if you have a couple kids, you would just have to order an extra needle, and then they both could do one at the same time. Either way. So I did a pig just because I got to always keep those in stock. I did a chicken sitting on a nest just because we just ordered some hatching eggs to try and get to hatch for my youngest daughter's birthday, just as a little surprise, and so chickens were on my mind. So I needle felt a little chicken sitting on a nest. I did a sloth, which is another regular in the Etsy shop, or if we go to craft fairs or farmers markets, I do lots of these. They are cool because they hang. You can hang them from your like rearview mirror with a ribbon or something, and they're just kind of funny looking at you like that. So did a sloth and a narwhal. This is another popular Sweet Pea Farm design. Little guy with the tusk. Maybe it was last Christmas. Someone ordered 20 of these, a little bit smaller, and when I was at Rhinebeck this year, I saw some DFL roving that was really reasonably priced in this color, and it's like a steel blue gray that I use. So the sun always comes in really harsh through here, but so I had to pick it up because I was like, hey, it's narwhal color, and I don't even have to dye it myself. So I did a narwhal this week, and then somebody on my Sweet Pea Farm NY Facebook page asked if I could do a snowy owl, so I kind of adapted it from another owl we do and just made it white with little black, feathers on him all around and some DFL locks. I thought he was cute. Sorry, I'm still getting the hang of this opposite camera direction thing. But So yeah, so that's all I did for needle felting, and those are really all the finished objects I have. Um, when I was down in Lansing, they had about a dozen vendors, and you think like, oh, that's not much compared to big festivals, but there was plenty of good stuff to buy. So one thing I bought was a couple boxes of roll logs, and I bought it from the Lady Llama Fiber Co. on Etsy. And I bought it in the cotton candy colorway, so I bought 2 ounces of it. And roll logs are just a fiber preparation that you do on a blending board or on hand cards or however you choose to do it. You blend in, this is just a llama and Corriedale fiber that was blended, and then you use dowels and roll the dowels up and pull the fiber to create these fibery inchworms or whatever you want to call them. And then you spin from the roll log, and I'd never done it. I've always spun from bats or roving just because that's how I prepare my fiber. But I think, was it on the Andre Sue Knits podcast, she was like making roll logs, and of course they like to put like sparkles and stuff like that in it, which is a lot of fun. I don't like to spin or knit with anything like artificial. I like to keep everything, natural fibers, animal fibers, but they're really pretty, sparkly or not. And so watching the Andre Sue Knits podcast really inspired me to try out some roll logs, and they had them there. So I bought 2 boxes, and I actually took the road bug over to my dad's and spun up the first box the other night, and it really does look like cotton candy. That's what the colorway is. Pinks and teals and mauve and blue and like a minty green. I don't know if this is showing super true to camera, but it spun up really nice, and for an ounce, that's a decent amount of fiber. I'm not sure. I'm going to spin the other box of roll logs and then fly it up and see how much I get, if maybe enough to make some mittens or something. But they were fun to spin with. I think I'm going to try to get into it, especially now that we have so much Angora fiber we can blend in, to make things super soft. So what else do I have? I was asked to do a felting demo at a local Knitters Guild on the 20th in Adams Center, and I was inspired down in Lansing by the women there were felting these knitted cups. So I had this single ply just leftover mini skein of pretty yarn. I think my dad actually was trying out a wheel over here, and so I'm knitting that up. I'm going to knit it into a just looks like a miniature scarf with a buttonhole, and then felt it with hot and cold water, not in the washer, because then I can't really control the size of it, and add a button to make like a little cuff or a little bracelet like thing. So I'm working on that so that I can have one done, do it myself, make sure I take notes on the time and stuff it takes to get things shrunken and felted properly. And then you can even embellish it with needle felting afterwards. So that's what we're going to talk about while I'm down there doing the demo. I'm still knitting this cowl from the Lamb's Pride I bought in Rhinebeck. I've been knitting this thing, and I said to my daughter last night, I don't think it ever gets any bigger. But it's just like an eggplant Lamb's Pride 8515 merino and mohair, and it's pretty soft. And it's easy to knit with, and I'm knitting it on, I don't know, 6s, I think. I don't remember. But it's my car / I don't really want to think knitting. I'm just kind of cruising along with it. And I love this color. Purple's my favorite. So I bought it when I was in Rhinebeck because Lamb's Pride was an all-natural yarn and mill process, but really inexpensive, like $3 a skein or something. So I bought that in a teal, and I'm just trying to learn to knit. So that's what that is. But and then on top of that, for works in progress, I have been working on this natural colored Romney fleece I bought from a neighbor. I finally got it all washed yesterday, put it on the heat vents to dry, and I've been carding it, and I have literally a mountain of carded Romney bats that I have been doing off my dad's drum carder that I borrowed this weekend to bring home. So I am pretty happy with how that's going. I'm getting a lot done with that, and I ordered some jacquard dyes, so once I get into the white fleece, I'll be able to keep some naturally colored and then dye some different colors and play with that a little bit before I spin it, so I can kind of control how that goes. So those are the things I've been working on. Other things I acquired in Lansing when I was down there. My daughter, Michaela, my oldest, that was on the last podcast, is super lucky. So when we do raffles or anything, we put her name on everything. And then she tries to claim like it's hers, even though she didn't buy the tickets, just because her name won it. But so I won quite a few things at the raffle. One is a Russian spindle that I got, and I don't have it over here because I forgot. I've been trying to play with it to figure out how to use it, but it's like a supported spindle and it's wooden. And so that was a good win because Chloe really wanted a finner, she called it. So we got that to try. And I won 2 ounces of baby camel fiber from Black Fen Farm in Hackettstown, New Jersey, which is cool. I actually bought my dad some baby camel down for Christmas, so I'm kind of excited. His is a little bit darker than mine, but this is a nice light tan. I don't know if this is going to come through. Nice light tan. That's pretty much the color right there. So, so I won that. Michaela and I won that. And this was the little cup that I was talking about that I'm going to show the knitters. This came from Louise Henry Colorworks, I think is the name of it. Louise Henry Colorworks. And it's a little knitted cuff that she felted, and maybe she felted it in the machine, I don't know, but I'm worried that if I felt it in the machine, I'm not going to have very much control over how much it shrinks. So we'll see. And then just put a little vintagey button on there to close it, and then it just makes like a little cuff. And I think they're cute, and I think it's a good way to help people learn on a small project how fiber's felt, so that they're not like really working with a big sloppy mess, you know, trying to do like a big project. And with that came a little handmade orifice hook that the lady put in the raffle drawing. So that's cool because who doesn't always need those? I've just made some for me and Dad because I lose them all the time. Chloe lost the Atkins orifice hook a long time ago. I don't know where it is, so I either use a paper clip or now I've made my own, but now I have an extra. So that came with that. And then I also won this really cute, the Loopy U bag. And it's a great little project bag, little canvas tote, and it says on the thing, sock yarns don't count as stash, which is kind of funny. I haven't gotten into the sock yarn craze, but from the looks of all the other podcasts, I hear it's a real thing, the sock yarn stash thing. So I didn't win these, but Michaela spotted these little sheepy porcelain beads at Lansing at the Distaff Day or Rock Day celebration, and they're just little glass beads, and they've got holes through the middle, so I thought those would make super cute stitch markers. So we bought those to make some stitch markers. And I'm trying to think, what else did I buy there? I bought some fiber from Distaff Farms in Plattsburgh, New York, and they had really reasonable prices, and I bought a, let's see, this one is called Smoky Amethyst colorway, and then this one, which is super fun, is the Tropical Seas colorway. So I bought about 4 ounces of that, and it's not Cornwall, what is it? Cotswolds. It's Cotswolds. So I haven't spun with a lot of Cotswolds, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I love the colors, so that'll be fun. And let's see, what else did I get for acquisitions? I bought these books on Amazon because other podcasters or the Facebook All Fiber Equipment for Sale group, which gets you in a lot of trouble. I'll talk about that next. They talked about this book. It's called Adventures in Yarn Farming, 4 Seasons on a New England Fiber Farm. And it's by Barbara Perry, Parry. And I love this book. This book is so fun to read and easy to read, and so me. Like, they retired and bought a farm and grew into the farm. That's kind of what we did here, except for Matt retired from the Army, and I, am just farming because I'm lucky. So I bought that book, and that's a fun read. It goes through the family's story of buying the farm and how they got to choose what kind of sheep they had and trials and errors. So I just started reading that. And then yesterday I received this, and I think this is from Andre Sunitz is one of my favorite podcasters. Like, she's just so fun to watch. She's very diverse. She always has so many like tutorials and how-tos, and her family gets involved with the podcast. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. I love it. But I think she talked about this called the Knitter's Life List book, to do, to know, to explore, to make 1,001 inspirations. I really haven't even cracked this one open yet because I've been reading the other one at night when I put the drum carder down. But it's got lots of color pictures and patterns and ideas, and I saw one part that said something about like how to fix, like if you do this, what to do to fix it, kind of thing. So talks about spinning. So I'm excited to get into this book as well once I have less fleece to process, because I'm kind of obsessive, and once I start something I just want to finish it. So I've been working on that, and then at night I either knit or read depending on how bad my bag's feeling, and so I haven't gotten to that new book yet, but I'm excited to. And so like I said, there's a group on Facebook, and it has like all these like Shaun the Sheep looking sheep across the top, and it's called All Fiber Equipment for Sale, something like that. My dad and I are both members, which is double trouble. And you can go on there and you can search. You can find, carders, spinning wheels, looms, books, knitting stuff. I mean, you name it, anything fiber related. So most of the time this stuff is like Ohio or Colorado, nothing super close by. So you either have to ship it in or pass it up. I was looking through my dad's 30-something wheels he has a few days ago for something I could get into, like some bulkier spinning, or some like core spinning, which is something they were doing a lot of down in Lansing with like the raw locks, because I love working with the fiber in its kind of natural state, like keeping it. I mean, I do this with felting all the time. I do a lot of felting with the fiber in its curly natural state. But to spin it, really, you have to card it to spin it into like a normal kind of conventional yarn. But with lock spinning, you take the locks like right the way after you've washed them. They stay curly and fun, and you spin them, and it puts out these little, curly cues how the sheep grew them, and it just kind of spins them with another thinner yarn. So you spin the locks into a thinner yarn off the wheel. You let the locks grab on as you're spinning, and then you take that locky yarn and take the core wool again, or whatever yarn you're using as your core, and spin that around the locks to kind of make sure it's all fused together. And it's beautiful. Like, my dad did some with his Teasdale locks, really Teeswater locks, that the lady gave him to try it with down in Lansing, and it's so pretty. It's so fun. I was kind of like, well, what are you going to do with that? Like, it's really messy kind of looking from a distance, but if like you could do anything with it. You could knit with it or weave with it or whatever, and it's still going to keep those cute, adorable little locks the way the sheep grew them, and it's just so fun. So anyway, babbling. I didn't find anything in my dad's basement that had the kind of flyer and large orifice that I would need to be able to do the lock spinning. He does it on, I think he was doing it on his Spinolutions Queen Bee And it worked okay, but there were some times where he had to kind of stop and hand turn to get things to move through because stuff would get caught. Well, on this Facebook group came an Ashford country spinner that had like a giant bobbin for sale, like an hour and a half from me, and at a super reasonable price, like less than half of what a lot of other people would sell it for. So I said something to my dad about it, like, is this the wheel I've kind of been looking for? Is this something that would do what I wanted to do? And he's like, yeah, and that's a great price. And it's like less than an hour and a half away. And I was like, oh, but I really wanted to buy a drum carter this month. And he was like, but I have a drum carter, so just get the country spinner. And I kind of went back and forth. And then finally the lady said, you know, do you want to put a deposit on it? I've got lots of people interested. And I put a deposit on it. So luckily, there is a woman coming from Canada to go see her next Monday, and she graciously offered to meet me in Watertown close by and bring the wheel from this lady to me. So I don't even have to drive the hour and a half. I just have to drive like 20 minutes to Watertown and pick up this new wheel. So I'm pretty excited about that, excited about what it's going to offer for me to be able to do now with bulky spinning, core spinning, and be able to ply bigger hanks and bigger skeins instead of having to just ply until the bobbin is like so full it won't even spin anymore and then cut it off and start another skein. I'll be able to make giant skeins if I want to. So I'm really excited about that and glad I took the plunge. So so yeah, that is about all I got for acquisitions since this week. We're also looking at trying to start a spinners guild in the area. We're in Jefferson County, but anybody around the Watertown area that would want to be participating, we're looking to kind of get a group together to spin together and you know, learn different techniques and share different techniques and, you know, kind of be able to talk about fibery things. There's not a lot of people that are active, but there's a lot of people that are spinning, so it'd be fun to kind of get some organization and get together. I was really inspired by last Saturday at the Rock Day celebration down in Lansing. I would love to get a group together. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge, but just a group that liked spinning and fiber arts to kind of learn from, because I have so much to learn, and I know there's people out there that know stuff. So yeah, if you're in the area, send me a message down below or on the Ravelry group, Sweet Pea Farm NY podcast, and let me know. I would love to meet you, to spin with you, to, you know, learn from you, whatever. So also the giveaway for the set of dryer balls is still going on until the beginning of February. If you want to enter that, there's very few people that have entered. Go on the podcast one show notes and post a picture of a project you're working on. It can be anything fiber related: knitting, crochet, spinning, felting, sewing, you name it. Go ahead and post a picture of the project you're working on there, and you're entered to win a free set of dryer balls that we will ship out to you. So, and then as for a shop update in the Etsy shop, I'm going to do an update on Friday, probably in the morning, and I'm going to have BFL locks, Romney locks in natural and white. I'll have spinning bats of the natural Romney in the gray, and I should also have maybe some white and some colored bats, depending on how much dye comes in and how fast things dry. So, and also I already said the locks for felting. So, and I don't know, some of the critters, maybe Humpty will go in there, and the narwhal. We'll see. So there should be some felted critters. If you have any questions, post them on the Ravelry group or in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I know that we're just starting out and we have so much to learn. So hopefully I'm able to get this video downloaded today. And I still don't have any lambs. The sheep is in the barn. Still very pregnant. still looking like she's ready to pop, not doing anything but eating. I'm out there like every 2 hours and worried about her because it's gotten colder now. It was like 40 last week and now it's like 9. I'm not going to say it's making me crazy, but it's driving me a little nuts. I would love her to have healthy lambs, so I just have to be patient, I guess. I had the 2nd or the 16th for her lambing date, so obviously the 2nd didn't happen, and the 16th is Saturday, so maybe this weekend, but who knows? There's nothing for sure with lambing. So hopefully I'll have baby lamb videos to show you next week. And that's it, I think. We'll also have some Angora and Romney bats in the Etsy shop. So if you want to have something a little luxurious, those will be there too. At least a few of them. Probably in gray. I'm not going to dye any Angora this week. So yeah. So I'll put the links for those things below. And thank you for watching. As usual, I am new at this whole video thing and learning so much. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking us out. And don't forget to enter the giveaway. And I will see you next week.